I'm Chris Fialco. I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I got appointed earlier this year to represent Robert Wilcoxon and prove he was innocent of the murder he'd been serving 11 years for. My client pled guilty to this, and nobody had ever been exonerated in the Innocence Commission after pleading guilty. There were a lot of politicians who thought that this was a travesty, that if you plead guilty, it should be final. A lot of the things I learned in this case basically were that the old truisms are true. You know, the basics are true, and you got to do those things. The truism is you lead with your best punch sometimes. You know, Muhammad Ali laid on the ropes and waited, but if there's times you can do that, this wasn't one of those times. It's hard to tell young lawyers this, but go with your gut. Even when you're young, you got a gut instinct. You can be as smart as anybody, but if you don't have some street smarts, you're not going to make it as a criminal defense lawyer. You got to trust your guts. Go with your gut. What we didn't want to do was overprove or bite off more than we had to chew in order to win the case. The judges in this case didn't know the evidence, okay? Because they're the triers of fact. And I didn't tell them about the video in my opening statement on purpose because I wanted it to hit them when it came up. It's not in every case where your key piece of video evidence is taped over with a soap opera. It didn't really matter to me whether the judges at that moment thought that a detective had taped this over on purpose or done it by accident. But there's no doubt that that was a key piece of evidence that nobody was going to know anymore. The scariest thing is when you put your client up to testify, because you lose control. In these days, everybody watches CSI and NCIS and everything seems high tech, but simple stuff works. Simple stuff works. Literally a day or two before, all these lawyers across the state started calling me and said, "Chris, no pressure, but this has never been done before. And if you don't win, the legislature's probably going to kill the Innocence Commission." And I said, "Oh, great, thank you. I don't need any more pressure, fellas. Win the case, the case, the case." I got to walk Robert out of the jail after he was exonerated, which is a once-in-a-career experience, and we were waiting for the huge metal double doors to open, and he said, "I used to hate the sound of those doors, but I'm going to like them this time."